Hi everyone, my name is PJ and I'm here with my classmates Tyler and Chris, who you'll hear from in a little while. Today we're going to learn about chromosomes, DNA, and the process of meiosis. Chromosomes are responsible for carrying genes. Genes carry certain characteristics which include genotypes and phenotypes. Phenotypes are the physical traits which we can visibly see, such as eye color or hair color. Genotypes are the traits which we cannot see, such as high blood pressure. DNA is found in the chromosomes and is responsible for making us who we are. In the scientific world, this is called our genetic code. Both chromosomes and DNA tie into a cell division process that is responsible for creating reproductive cells called meiosis. Meiosis results in the production of egg cells for females and sperm cells for males. Human cells have 23 pairs of chromosomes, which means there's a total of 46 chromosomes in every cell. The 23rd pair of chromosomes is called the sex chromosome. It is responsible for determining the sex of that cell. Female chromosomes consist of 2 X's, while the males have 1 X and 1 Y. As you see here in the picture, when the father contributes one of his X's to the mother's X, the result is a daughter. On the other hand, when the father contributes a Y to the mother's X, the result is a son.
Hey, I'm Chris, and I'll be discussing the overall structure of DNA. So DNA is an example of a macromolecule. Macromolecules are large molecules that are built from smaller pieces called subunits. If you were to look inside the nucleus of one of your cells, you'd be able to see your DNA molecules. As you can see here in this drawing I've made, this is what a molecule of DNA looks like. These molecules kind of resemble a twisted rope ladder, which when described in scientific terms would be described as a double helix. The sides of the ladder are very strong, but also allow the DNA to be flexible. Between the sides of the ladder are the rungs. The rungs of the ladder are called nucleotides, and they're unique to each individual person. These nucleotides also carry the genetic information that makes up our genotype. PJ talked about that a little bit earlier. Nucleotides in the rung of the double helix structure are also called nitrogenous bases. These bases pair with each other through hydrogen bonding to give the DNA structure. The bases are usually referred to by their initials. A is short for adenine and pairs with T, which is short for thymine. C is short for cytosine and pairs with G, which is short for guanine. The sequence or order of these bases in DNA is used to store and pass on genetic information in a way similar to a computer data on a disk or tape.
Hi, I'm Tyler, and as y'all learned earlier from Chris and PJ about how chromosomes and DNA are linked together, I'm going to be talking about how these two are transferred from your parents to you. This is done through a process called meiosis. Meiosis is a type of cell division responsible for creating reproductive cells such as egg and sperm cells. So, let's take a look at how meiosis works. So during the first stage, which is called interphase, we see 2 centromeres at the top, and then we have our 2 strands of chromosome. Moving into the next stage, which is called the prophase stage, this is where the DNA is copied and the chromosomes pair up in the center of the cell. In the metaphase stage, this is where our recombination occurs. The chromosomes line up and we start to see a spindle form in the cell. The next phase is called anaphase. Anaphase is where the chromosomes start to pull apart at the center of the centromeres. And then the final stage of the first part is called telophase. This is where we start to see the cell pinch and form 2 new meiotic cells. So now that we have these 2 new meiotic cells, which are also called daughter cells, we can now begin the second phase of meiosis. As you can see, the first stage is going to be prophase 2, where we have 2 daughter cells containing 1 chromosome each. Moving on to the next phase, which is our metaphase 2, we start to see the spindle form and the 2 chromosomes are aligned at the equator. The next phase is going to be anaphase 2. We can now start to see the sister chromatids pull apart from the equator. After anaphase, we move into the telophase, where the cells start to pinch in the middle. And this leads us into our final stage, which is cytokinesis. This is where the 4 granddaughter cells are now created.